Here's Brody Brazil.
Yeah, Samuel, I saw that too. Eklund got recalled from the Barracuda, who were on the road, if I recall. I don't think the CUDA are in town right now. I mean, I was at their rink today, and they were nowhere to be seen. I would have to think that if you recall him, you're doing it to use him. Because I don't think what you want to do is have him continue to sit. Remember, he made the whole trip out to Europe and did not play in a single game out there, not even the exhibition game against the Ice Baron. So I find it interesting and wondering if there's another issue, like an injury issue, that has opened up a door for Eklund. My thought, and this is me reading minds and the bigger picture here. My thought was that the Sharks would put Bordeleau and Eklund to start the season with the Barracuda. Let these guys have a great start to their year, open up the new building, dominate in the AHL, have a really good Barracuda team for the first couple months. And then at some point, if the situation still dictates, hey, the Sharks need you, they'd love to have you, bring them up to the NHL. And I don't even know if you do it, you probably don't do that in a group situation. You do it one by one, where you need it, who's ready first, who fits the bill. I talked to Mike Greer today specifically about when is the right time to have AHL call-ups, because that's kind of been an issue with the Sharks going back the last couple of years. And I understand, totally different regime in front office, but a lot of times it would be the call-up and everybody's excited and they see promise in a young player, usually a forward, like it's been a lot of young forwards, and they come up and you look at their stats from the American League and you're like, oh, they might have some success here. And then they don't. And then they get quiet. And next thing you know, they've played 15 games, and for the last 3, you're not hearing their name hardly ever called, and maybe they're getting 7 to 8 minutes time on ice per night. And it's I don't want to say pointless, but they weren't ready or the situation isn't working. I would much rather right now, like the Sharks have a roster of veterans. Again, maybe an injury even dictates this call-up right now, but don't push this, don't force this, don't rush this. I think that's been happening a lot with the Sharks in recent times. And right now, you've got a young group there you really like. Let them vibe. Let them marinate. Let them come together. Now, they've called up Eklund for a reason. And going back to part of your question here, can we expect him on the third line tomorrow? I mean, I would think so. I guess what I'm saying is I would hope so. I would hope that the situation that he's getting called up for is because they need him right now, and this makes the most sense, and they feel good about his game. Obviously, they wouldn't call him up if he wasn't ready or this wasn't right. There are other players. And he obviously, with Bordeleau and Merkley, like there are some big-name pipeline players right now. So, just to go back on this, I am as curious as you are about all these young players. I am excited about the next generation. And yeah, optimally, I hope they all work out. But I think we all know how it goes. Of a larger group, a couple of them like really stick and really do well. And I think, the hype is there with Eklund. I hope he can continue to take steps. But the biggest thing is this. I hope he can have development this year. And sorry, I never really said what I wanted to say. With Mike Greer and talking about when is the right time for an AHL player, he said it has, something to do with stats, but he more described it as, I want to hear his coaches say, he is beyond ready. In fact, he used the word beyond ripe. And that makes total sense, right? You don't want to pick the fruit off the tree before it's ready. And he also used the word dominate. Like you want to see the player dominate at that level. You don't want to pick them before they're ripe. And so hopefully this is it for Eklund. But also, like, let's be clear, if this is to fill a gap due to an injury or something else with another Sharks player that we haven't found out about yet, then let's take our time in the bigger picture, right? Let's really make sure that he spends as much time in the American League as he needs to, that he gets that confidence, that he gets that momentum, so that when all these players are ready for the Sharks, that they come up, they know it's the right time, they stick, and they never go back to the coop. Oh, look at Maddie with the info. Meier had an injury crop up today at practice. While Barabanov is possible for tomorrow, the Sharks probably want some extra security. Maddie, thank you for doing the job that I should have been doing. No, in all seriousness, I was at practice today, but during the practice, I was consumed in talking to Mike Greer, and then as soon as practice was over, David Quinn came and talked to us, and we were not doing any of the topical team stuff. It was more of a long, in-depth interview situation. So anything that happened at practice, and then honestly, I got in the car. Actually, I went over to the tank real quick, picked up something, and then went home. So I was not, I will get up to speed tomorrow on all this, but now, see, like I said, wasn't far off, right? There's somebody that is maybe questionable, and you just want to make sure that you got the right team out there.